Hey YouTube, welcome back to part number 4 of that little MiG-21 build. So in this video we're going to work on the decals and then get the weathering done. Alrighty, decal time, one of my favorite parts. I actually really enjoy it. I don't mind doing stencils either, which is kind of a little strange, I guess. So I know I went and did one already. This big one on top. Yeah, a little bit cracking and stuff. Just want to kind of see how it went down. Overall, it went down not too bad, I guess. But that's the main one. I kind of want to try it too, because I mean, with this scheme, there's so many different. There's so many large decals and stuff to make this thing pop. If they didn't go down well, but this whole project would be pretty much thrown in the bin. It'd be useless. So I just want to do that one just to see. But to kind of remind everybody where we're at with this. We're doing this scheme. No idea. I'm not pronouncing that word, but whatever that is. So 1990. Just to recap, I think this was a Eastern German MiG-21, and when the Berlin Wall came down in '89, they painted this in like the unification markings in 1990 to 92 before it's scrapped. So we're doing that guy. So we do the main. Always start with the main colors first and the big decals, and then on back here you can see there are lots and lots and lots of stencils. Yeah. Now this is semi-second scale. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if I'm going to do the stencils or not. I guess I'll do the big ones first and see how that goes. If I'm in the groove, I might go ahead and do it, but just to kind of give you a glimpse of what. Yeah, tiny little decals. Almost like a phantom, right? Yeah, and the thing is, I guess it's white, so it's not so bad, but sometimes when you build aircraft, dark greys and that kind of stuff, you're not going to see any of this stuff. It's kind of pointless. But it might pop a little bit more on the white, maybe. We'll see. I might do it, I might not. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So I'm just going to try and get these decals away. I'm sorry for the rustling. Yeah, there you go. So this is actually Eduard's own decals. Boo. I know sometimes use Colorgraph, which are 100 times better, but anyway, we'll work with what we got. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'll do one to kind of show you guys what I got going on, and then I'll just work on the rest off the camera, because I'm sure you don't sit for 4 hours and watch me put these decals on. So let's do the tail. Comes in 2 parts. We'll do the rudder first, and it looks like it's number 30. So looking on my sheet, it's actually going to be these 2 right here. Sorry, hope if I've got a camera shot there. So what you're going to do is just going to cut it out. And then here, I got a ramekin. The reason I use this ramekin is because I actually have reach off the camera. I'm not going to use it right now, but I have one of these like real cheap kind of mug warmers for a coffee cup. Get them on Amazon for like $10. The problem with this one is it doesn't have an auto off. And many a time I forgot to turn this thing off, and the next morning I've come in to find my ramekin is bone dry, and this thing's been on for like 12 hours. So yeah, if you get an auto off one, that's probably the way to go. But yeah, here's 2 things with modeling. People say, oh, you don't need a clear coat and cold water's fine. Well, you know what? I like using a clear coat. I like using hot water. It just softens them better. That's the way I do it. Many people have their own ways of doing it. Knock yourself out, but this is the way I like to do it. So a little bit of water in there. I used to use boiling water, but I found it easy. Just put cold water in from the faucet, and I go straight into the microwave, 10-15 seconds, and it's right perfect temperature. Another thing I mention this all the time in my videos, sort of a repetition, but best tool I own probably is Tamier's decal tweezers. I'm not sure of the number. It's got 173 written on the inside, but these things are amazing and actually grip it, move stuff around. Can't go decaling without them, so highly recommend it. So what I'm gonna do is put this guy in a swimming pool for a little bit, take it out, leave it on a mat. You don't need to leave these things floating around in there for like 30 seconds. Again, just a quick dip, wet, leave it on the mat, and because it's plastic, it will stay wet underneath, and then let it soften. Right, so in the meantime, we're going to use the old favourites, Set and Soul. So blue, which I marked number 1. Going to take my brush, and just going to rub it on where the decal's going to go. And again, you don't, with saw and set, don't hose it all on because it might affect your paintwork. Just, you know, just light coats. This might be done already because I know these go pretty quick. Yep. The hot water again makes it go quick. I know there's people out there kind of screaming at TV right now, or phones or whatever, or iPads saying, hey, no, cold water. But again, you know what? I don't really care because hot water works for me. So I'm just going to line it up. Sorry, I'm just going to push it off like so. Then using my tweezers, I'm just going to get this in where I need it to be. Sorry, I might just need to be off camera just so I can make sure it's lined up. Oh, moved it right out of spot. Like that. Easy as that. Oh, God, I'm almost all over the place today. I'm sorry. So, on like that, you see how nice this scheme's really looking now with the colour added to it. So, you could probably mask and paint that one, but, I mean, why would you do it when you have the decals? So, that looks good. So, I mean, just place it, comfortable where it is. Then I'm just going to put it down, leave it for about 10 minutes just for it to stick, and then come on and give it a quick coat of the micro sole. You could use many coats of this. Hopefully one does it. It depends how thick the decals are. You might want to do 5 or 6 if it's going around like the curved area here. For this flat pip surface, 1 should be enough. And what number 2 does, the micro sole, the red one, is basically kind of sucks it all into the plastic. So you like it's almost painted. So you can see all those rivets and all those panel lines through the decal. Is what that does. Number 1 helps it set, and number 1, the blue one here, and this stops it from sticking. You can maneuver it around, that kind of stuff. That's the difference. So normally you can do a few different areas and stuff. I'm not going to be too greedy. I'm going to let this one stick before I go around it, because if I put the other one around it, it might likely knock it and go crazy and stuff. So let that one dry, and then I'll put the red on, and then just keep working my way around. I'm not going to bore you guys and have you sit and watch me for hours like I mentioned, so let me start putting some of these on, and then I'll check back in a few minutes and show you where I'm at. Right, so the main ones are on. Actually, this is the following morning, so I did this last night, and it's kind of bedded down okay overnight. So, can I see? It's okay. Now, there's a few little kinds of like tears and stuff. I can build that into the weathering, it's not a big deal. But these decals were kind of a pain in the ass to work with, unfortunately. Eduard, what are you doing? Mini round time. Up until about 2019, sorry, to 2020-ish, they used to use Cartograph for the decals. And Cartograph, as you may know or may not know, are the bee's knees. They're the best decals you can get. And then some kind of cost cutting or whatever, they brought them in-house. So these are nowhere near as good. You can just tell by the colours, they're not as vibrant, not as good quality as Cartograph. These aren't the latest. These are 2020, so early 2020 probably. So these are more normal type water slide decals, but they're still kind of crap. I mean, it's a lot of work to get this kind of stuff going down. They're just hard to work with. They can tear real easily. It's just a real shame. You know, I'd rather they just put like $1 or $2 onto the kit price and just give me the Cartograph back, but I don't think that's going to happen. So these ones, I mean, I got by okay, but again, they're not the best, unfortunately. But the main ones are on. The one for the tail, right here, that just wouldn't conform or go over, like bend. It has to bend over both sides, else impossible. So I might just mask it up and just do a quick shot of red. Obviously it has a little bit of yellow trim and all that kind of stuff. It just, that wasn't happening at all. Also, I don't like with these decals as well is they've done around the outside they've done like the white and around the outside rather than clear. So because I didn't do a bright white, because I went like an off-white aircraft, you can kind of really see that kind of pops out a little bit. I wish it just kind of, they did it clear and just kind of blend into the white background of the aircraft, but anyhow. Going back to the round on the Eduard, so I've gone off on a tangent. So if you do buy a kit like late 2020 or now 2021, they changed it even more. There's a big controversy. I can't remember exactly. I think maybe it's Spitfires they brought out, whereas I can't remember exactly what the story was, but basically they had some kind of thing where you think doing like reverse, and then it kind of gets rid of all the carrier film or something like that, some kind of crap like that. But it's apparently a hot mess. So buy Eduard, just new ones. Just bear in mind that decals are kind of not very good. Also, while I'm on the round, the Desert Babe Tornado from last year, or maybe it was the year before now, was a great kit, but those decals, if you see my review, were terrible. I mean, they just weren't very good at all. So yeah, unfortunately, Eduard, they've gone a little cheap recently. So even before the fire happened at the factory, they've kind of the prices haven't gone up slightly, but not a lot. But they've kind of cut back a lot what you get in the kit. So as I mentioned in the earlier parts, you used to get a lot of like trophy packs and the limited editions. You used to get like a lot of like more resin, like seats and that kind of stuff, and weapons. Now it seems it's the bare minimum you get, and then now it's like aftermarket packs you have to buy on extra, which you have like another $40-50 to the kit. And then obviously they've gone cheaped out with the decals as well. So yeah, not my favourite manufacturer right now, but anyhow. Going back to decals, because I'm kind of really waffling now. Like I say, I've got the main ones on. I'll probably mask this up and just paint red just down the front here of the tail. Looking over here, yeah, I think pretty much the main ones are on. That's the stencils. There's tons of stencils on this thing. I might do a few. Let me kind of sit down from the mood. I'll start doing a few and I'll carry on and see where I go. If there's any kind of prominent ones, I'll do them. Any kind of tiny little things you're not going to read or see, I'm just not going to bother because it's going to be a waste of time. But yeah, so coming back to cracks and tears and stuff on this, it kind of looks a little bit like weathering. I'll kind of weather it in a little bit once we have the wash. Might do some oils on this, I haven't decided yet, but it'll look okay in the end. But yep, taking shape, and yeah, very cool. So let me go ahead and carry on working more decals. I just want to take this kind of quick break, just kind of give you an update and kind of show you where I was. Okay, so this is where we're at. The main decals are on. Looking kind of okay. So put the main ones on. The one down the tail, the front of the tail right here, that wasn't going to happen. I mean, it would conform. So round to alert. So decals are crap. They kind of tear easily. I mean, well, crap's maybe too strong a word, but they're not the best. So Eduard, what are you doing? So I mean, this is kits from 2020, I think, early 2020. If you got a kit from like 2019 or earlier, the decals were made by Cartograph, like best you can get, beautiful decals. But Eduard somehow brought them in-house to save some money, I'm sure. And the nonsense of 2020, late 2020, with their new decals, with that stupid thing where you have to reverse and get rid of the carrier film and stuff, was just a complete nightmare. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on right now with them. Obviously, they had a fire, but this is way before the fire in the factory. But they seem to go for this cost-cutting measure and degrading their kits. So, limited edition and Profi packs used to have some cool stuff in there. They still do, but let's take an example of Desert Babe. So, Desert Babe Tornado came out a couple years ago now. Limited edition. Now, typically limited edition kits come with like resin seats, you know, photo etch, mask sets, some really nice decals, and some other little resin goodies and stuff. They did bring a lot of resin out for that kit, but it's all kind of wasn't really kind of included in the pack. It was kind of, a lot of it was kind of, you have to pay like another $40-50 for all the weapons. So that seems to be the MO with them right now. They seem to be cutting back on the kit, and then immediately as they release the kit, come out with all the goodies, but instead of including, you have to buy extra. Another one was a B26, I think it was, a 72nd scale one. They brought out the kit, great, but then if you wanted the wheels and all the other engines and stuff, you have to buy them separately. So it just seems the way they're going now. I wish they'd just put a couple bucks extra on the price of the kit and just include the Cartograph decals, because the Eduard ones aren't that great. I mean, going back to Desert Babe again, as I kind of rant on, the Desert Babe, the decals are crap. If you look at my review, all the colors are like faded, it's just not printed nicely, not in register. Yeah, so you pay out money for these beautiful decals and they just look like crap. So anyway, so I got them on the main ones. I've got a big sheet of millions of tiny little stencils. And you know what, I'm not even gonna bother with this. I mean, they're a pain in the ass and they're so small. There's like little basically dots of blue all over the aircraft. You're not gonna read it, the scale. It's just, my motor is kind of going on this one. So what I'm going to do is, I've got the main ones on, and I'm just going to plow through and just go ahead and seal this in now with LP9 clear coat, and I'll come back and we'll start the weathering, because I'm kind of a little bit over with this right now, to be honest with you. The decals, another thing ran with this too is, so you got the red and yellow for German decals, and then they've done a white border around it instead of a clear border. So you got white, so I painted my aircraft white, And as I spoke about when I painted it, you don't want to paint it pure white, because scale model building, you want a slight off-white. Well, you don't never do blacks or whites, you always do a slight off. So I add a little buff to give it like a little off-white, to give it more kind of scale effect and realistic. But now you got like around the decals, you have a white line, which doesn't kind of fit with the fuselage. So whatever. So I'm gonna say that's another quick look at it again. So it looks okay. I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, now I'm kind of over this a little bit. So I'm just going to head and kind of half-ass it. I'm not going to bother with the stencils, because this scale you're not going to see it anyway. So I'm going to clear this in, and we'll come back and we'll start the washing. Okay, so clear coated. Did this to seal the decals in. It's been a few hours. It's all dry. So ready for a wash. Oh, I noticed that when I was holding this, when I was putting decals on, I got some fingerprints on here, so I just had to quickly respray that the green bit right here just to kind of touch it up. So, as always, Flora Models Dark Dirt Wash. This bottle's almost done, but I decant it. And I did add a little bit of water to this too. I find if you add a little bit of water, it just kind of flows a little bit better. Not much, maybe like 10%. Then all you're going to do is straight out the bottle, again with a little bit of water mixed obviously, is just to brush it all on everywhere. And this guy being so small, it's going to be no problem at all. And this is going to pick out all those panel lines, and nice detail this kit does have. And we'll do the other side as well. Kind of avoiding the metal part, the exhaust at the back. I don't really want to weather that up too much with this wash. But yeah, and this is super good, because if you screw up, don't like it, a little bit of water, it comes right off, no problem at all. So make sure about everything. That's about it. So just gonna let that sit for about 20-30 minutes. I'm gonna do the stabilizers too, which are off separately. Then we'll come back and we'll remove the wash. So about 20-30 minutes. Right, it's been about half an hour, and we can go ahead and take this wash off. So just a bit of paper towel, I just ripped up in little pieces, and then all we do is just rub it off basically. If you lick it, give it a little moisture, it will just come off a lot better, and then you can see all that really nice detail. And that's kind of the quick down and dirty. So you can see how that pound line wash really just picks out detail really nicely. So that's kind of the rough. Then what I'm going to do is come with a Q-tip, and then this doesn't get all your kind of hard to get areas. Gets these wing fences, side of the fuselage. But I'm just going backwards in the direction of flow. And again. There you go, looking really cool, right? I'm going to spend a little bit of time again just going over these edges and just get all this taken care of. Also got the stabilizers right here. And the other side. There we go. So that's pretty much it. I mean, not too much to show you there. I'm not going. That's pretty much as far as I'm going to go weathering on this guy. I'm just going to go ahead and clean it up a little bit. There's a little bit, all the flaps and stuff. I'm just going to take care of off camera. But that's pretty much down dirty. The decals and the weathering. I will go ahead and start working on the gear and all the rest of the stuff to get this guy finished up. Glue these guys on now, the stabilizers. And we're kind of really taking shape. So looking pretty good. Again, I'm glad I didn't worry about all those little stencil decals. You're not going to see them on this guy at all. Okay, here we are. We're finished finally. So there you go. Give you a quick kind of look around the aircraft, and then we'll give you a quick kind of summary, and we'll kind of wrap this up. So firstly, this kit went together beautifully. Amazing detail, and you see that on the panel lines there. The 72nd scale. Just kind of see again, kind of panel lines, how it all looks. Went together beautifully. We used it's a Profi pack, so it came with the masks and photo etch and stuff. We did add the resin exhaust nozzle, which I think may be worth doing. It wasn't that expensive, and it does kind of look pretty cool. And it was made by Brazen, which is the same company, so it fit in no problem at all. No surgery or anything, just a quick, easy fit. So that was no problem at all. The instrument panel, photo etch, all that time we spent doing that, you see zero of it. Even if you put the canopy up, you wouldn't see any of it, the way the cockpit is. So if you ever build a MiG-21, I wouldn't necessarily bother with any kind of cockpit detail, because you don't really see it. The seat you don't really see. We'll look at super close up right now, but if you hold it back a little bit and look, you don't see any of that stuff. Couple of antenna broke off top and a couple of little things here and there, but yeah, it went together really well. We painted obviously in this German scheme, like a little bit different, the white and East German, and the blue at the bottom. And yeah, so the decals were crap. It's my rant going on. As you know, I hate Eduard decals. They used to cartograph, which are great. Some kind of cost-cutting measure, they start putting their own ones in, which are just out of register, badly faded colors, don't go down well, they rip, you name it, crap. So I don't like them at all. So thumbs down for that one. So that really kind of spoiled the mojo for me. So the decals was a struggle. I got those down. I didn't bother with any of the stencils, mainly because they were so small on this scale. Some like little black, like writing was like little black dots, and just putting little black dots all over was just a waste of time for me. I didn't put in like 150 stencils, so I left those off. I just the main colors to kind of plow through and get this one done. Also, what didn't help with this too was I was pretty much all the way through it, just left with the gear, and then my main Super Hornet arrived, so I immediately put this to the side, worked on that kit, then worked on another kit. I just didn't want to come back to it, so I finally plowed through and got the thing finished. Lessons learned for me is, I always work better when I'm working one kit at a time. I like to work on that, finish it, get it to the side, clean my bench down, and start a new one. So when I do multiple ones like this, especially when it's not the subject I'm really that into, it was really hard for me to get back motivated and kind of get this thing finished for the video build. But I did it nevertheless. Also, this isn't really a subject I'm not that interested in. MiG-21s don't really do much for me, to be honest with you. And I just find also, if I'm doing like a Tomcat or something I'm really interested in, I'm just really excited. I want to be at the bench and build it. But when it's a subject I'm not that keen on, it's just sometimes can be a little bit kind of tedious to kind of build it for me. It takes enjoyment away from the hobby. So, like I say, not big MiG-21 fan, but nevertheless, I got this one finished. I think it looks semi-okay. Details really nice, but we kind of kept this one simple. And yeah. There you go. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Every Friday I do my build videos, be a different one every week. So next week we'll start a brand new series. And yeah, so thank you for watching, everybody. Appreciate all the support and kind comments, and I'll catch you later. So thank you and goodbye.